Hey everybody, I'm Matt DeBlas, and this is more of my Ball Run Basics video stuff. This week I've got kind of a product review. I recently ordered myself a new case for my Finnegan Hill drum from Hedwitschak Ball Runs, which I'll probably do a review of the case, their head case, a little later. It's kind of a neat one, and it was actually cheaper to order one from Germany than it was to get one from a lot of US distributors. But I got this kind of cool accessory, the Snare CarpHED, as it's called, which is this cool little box, a snare drum effect. And you'll see what this is if you're familiar with more traps drums or snare drums. It's like the snare wires with a little finger strap glued on, and it's got little rubberized tips. So the idea is you can put it on your hand, and as you're playing, you can add a snare drum effect to your ball run playing. So I figured I'd show it off and try it out. I'm going to start out using it on the traditional drum, my Brendan White, and see how that works. Now there's a couple different ways you can hold this. It's got a kind of an adjustable Velcro strap here, and the thing is split in two. So you can put it, they say, on your thumb, which I guess means you can do it kind of like this. And if you tend to mute from the top like I do on the traditional style, put it on these two fingers. But after playing around and experimenting a little bit, I really found it seems to work best using these two fingers through there like that. And not only can you control how tight it is on there, but you can also, just by doing this, you can kind of so it works kind of neat on the heavier skin drum from Brendan White. It sounds really cool on the Finnegan Hill, and you can probably see it a little bit better because there's more room without the crossbars. So So one thing you'll notice is when you put the snares against the head, it makes a sound. So when you actually use the thing, you have to be kind of aware of your timing. So it's like, and the way it's designed, if you're muting with the lower edge of your hand, so you can still change the pitch and do the tone control while you're using the CarpHED. I'm not sure why it's called a CarpHED, C-A-R-P. A lot of Hedwitschak's accessories have incorporated head, H-E-D, into the name for obvious reasons, like the head rods, the head case for the drums, the head strap is a ball run strap, which I'll also show off later, and the CarpHED, which I'm not sure where the carp comes from, whether it's a German thing or thing, because it doesn't really seem very fish-like to me. But you'll notice it's kind of cool to use as a snare drum effect to get more of a drum kit sound. But you can also use it on continuously to give you kind of a snare drum thing. So if you're playing with a pipe tune or something, or a marching tune, There's little rings, so if you don't get all of the wires fully engaged, one of them might ring. And with tighter pressure, looser pressure. So what do I think of it? Because I did say I'd review it after all. I think it's pretty cool. It, obviously is not going to be, for most of you, what you're going to use every single time you play and in every tune you play. It's very definitely kind of a modern effect. Like if you want your traditional drum sound, if you're playing at a session or something, obviously this isn't the thing to do. But if you're playing with like a small rock ensemble or acoustic band, and you want to, where you might hear people sometimes use like the box drum. Oh my God, my brain. Anyway, so if, the cajon, if something you might hear that, or a djembe instead of a drum kit, this is a pretty nice thing. Or a cocktail set. In fact, this reminds me a lot on, if you're familiar with cocktail drum kits, which are a small drum kit, usually like a tom-tom with a snare head attached to it and a small snare and a bass drum pedal. They're meant to be played very compact and played standing upright. They often have snare wires that instead of stretching across the bottom from end to end, they push up against the head a bit like this. It reminds me a lot of that. So you get that effect when you push it against the back of the head. So for playing with a small rock or jazz ensemble or something, we were playing in a very non-traditional context, I think this is a great effect. It does, because it ties up two of your hands, it does limit some of the mobility for the different muted tones and different tone control. So again, not something you use all the time. Build quality-wise, it's built pretty well. It is, like I said, basically, if you took a set of snare drum snare wires, cut them off here, and then apparently glued on bits of felt and some Velcro strap, and then put these little teeny tiny rubber things on the end to keep it from damaging your heads. Looks like they were just dipped in like tool grip rubber or something like that. So it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. If you're really crafty, you could probably make one yourself, but maybe it wouldn't be as nice. And the adjustment, it goes through and loops around, and you can adjust it to different finger fatnesses and how tight you want it. I like it a little bit loose so I can wiggle my fingers and control the snare sound pretty well. And it does come in this nice little box, so you can drop it in your drum case without damaging it. I think I like the sound of it better with a drumstick type tipper. With the multi-rod tipper, it sounds a little bit softer, but that's kind of a neat effect too. You want to get that old classic 808 drum machine sound. So yeah, Snare CarpHED from Hedwitschak Drums. Not super expensive, kind of a neat effect, a nice thing to have in your arsenal. Go for it.